All right, so we're back at home. The series is tied. Tell me what happened on the road there in Wainwright last weekend.
I think the boys just kind of took a day off, just came in there thinking it was going to be a little easier of a game, but we're back home. We're hoping to give it our all this game.
Yeah, it was Sunday night, so it was a bit of an odd one, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So what do you guys got to do tonight to take the lead in the series again?
Come out flying right out of the bat and, get pucks deep and just use our speed.
All right, well, best of luck to you guys out there, and
Thank you.
Let's bring it home.
You betcha.
All right, thanks.
Only a couple of minutes till game time for game 3 between Wainwright and Stettler. Stettler won the first game 3-0, and Wainwright, they beat up the Imperials 7-1 in Wainwright. So it's all tied up, and we're looking forward to game 3 as both teams are about to step on the ice. Once again, we are Hometown Media Stettler. Thank you for watching the live stream. And the Wainwright Rustlers in front of their fans are getting on the ice. Led out by Thomas Easeman. And now the Imperials will hit the ice. Of course, always led out by the Junior Imperial. And in net, it's Simon Thielman. Over 100 viewers already on the stream. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do so. It helps our little media company here in Stettler as well. Hit the like button if you like the stream. And welcome to the Stettler Rec Center, Game 3 of the Championship Series between the Wainwright Rustlers and the Stettler Imperials. Great to see the kids are out, filling the arena as well, everyone else from the community and some Wainwright fans too, who came in on their bus. But we have a big crowd here at the Stettler Rec Center for Game 3. Once again, both teams won their games at home. To center ice, it's Houston and Hamilton. As the face-off and the puck goes down into the Rustler zone, and a quick cover-up by Eastman. This first period is brought to you by Amco Electric. If it's electrical, we do it. Start of the first period behind the net. Ringed around. The Rustlers can't get it out. Quick save by Eastman. Here's a shot. Another save over the net. And now Brett Shingoose, who it's great to see back on the ice after suffering an injury, is chasing after it. Here's Leggett. Shot in around the net to the half wall. Walker for the Imperials is there. I think it did hit the mesh, but it'll stay in play. There's a shot toward the net. Turnus couldn't get all of it. There's Turnus again. Tried to feed it in front. No one was there. And now picked up by Fletcher for Wainwright. Thielman off the boards and out. Now Miller passed over to Fletcher at center ice. Guthrie now for the Imperials. Forward. Miller over. Now Fletcher had it off his skate, I believe. Chased by Stettler. And Wainwright has possession. There's a shot blocked in front. And out, back to Miller at center ice and sent back in and stopped behind the net by Thielman. And a shot toward the net, we have a whistle. Stettler wins the faceoff. Almost given away to Hamilton, but Hamilton didn't see where the puck was going. Eric Rost back on the ice as well after suffering a bit of an injury himself. Here's Tippler. Collision in the corner. Back up to Weeks. Goes behind the net. Kistner will take it away. And Kistner fights off a check and gets it in the zone, but a whistle is blown. In the corner, Fletcher gets knocked over. There's an attempt toward Thielman, but the puck ends up in the corner to Rost. And that pass over to Tucker. And down the ice. Right in from defense, gets it to Rost. Now it's James. For Wainwright, gives it up. Tucker can't get it on net. And now James of the Rustlers will drive it forward. The pass over, out of the reach of any Rustler. Wainwright keeps it in off the blocker of Thielman. Stollery up the boards. That pass given away to Dicker for Wainwright. And Wainwright will send it in to the near side corner where Wright will slap it off the boards to center, where Horn for Wainwright will fire it in. Got it delayed offside. Kind of hard to hear the ref through the noise of the crowd, which is great to see. A good atmosphere here at the Stettler Rec Center tonight. Up the boards, kept in. There's a shot. Doesn't get through. Hamilton will take a check, but will chase after it. Up the boards now to Stettler's Shin Goose. Back into the Wainwright zone. That long pass right on to Thielman, who will elect to cover up. .31 to go in the first period. Thanks to our main sponsor of this game and all the games this season, Stettler Boston Pizza. There's a shot wide of the net, picked up by Shin Goose. And they'll break it in, and we have a potential icing call. And we'll be right back after a word from our main sponsor.
At Boston Pizza, a fast lunch doesn't have to mean fast food. Now you can get a $15 lunch served in just 20 minutes, including your choice of a main, side, and drink. That's right, lunch for $15 at your local Boston Pizza.
And once again, first period is presented by Ampco Electric. Here's a chance maybe for Stettler in front of the net, but good defensive play by Wainwright. There's a shot by Stettler, saved by Isaman, and covered up. Back out in front, and back to right at the half wall, now sends it in. Back to Piggin, there's a shot and a save by Isaman. $185 watching the stream right now. Thanks again. Got ourselves a tight match in the early goings of this first period. Only 6 minutes has elapsed so far. And that one back out to center for Wainwright. Stollery for the Imperials off the boards. Tried to get it to Fournier, but Rost has it. Fires it wide. Now Fletcher for Wainwright is in the mix. Ross for the Imperials. Now Ethan Rost gets knocked over there. Now behind Isaman's net. Sorry, Isaman's net. Now at the boards, and a nice pass to Dicker. Fighting through a couple of Imperials with a shot. Deflects into the far side corner. Back to the front of the net, and we do have ourselves the first penalty of the game. It's a slashing call going to the Imperials. Wainwright is going on the power play. A face-off, 1-2 cleanly, all the way down to Isaman. Comerford in the corner will hold on to it, but then Piggin will get it off the boards. Back to Comerford across the ice. And Wainwright will set it up on the power play. Into the corner, now behind the net. And now the Rustlers have it, and a shot off of Turnus, the captain of the Imperials, blocked again in front and sent all the way down the ice. Wainwright has about a minute and 5 seconds. Here's James. That shot went toward Thielman. He was able to steer it away. Now Wainwright setting it up again on the power play. Back to the point. Here's James. Another James. And now looking for a good chance on net is Wainwright. 30 seconds to go on the power play. A nifty block by the Imperials. And Cassidy, trying to use his speed, will get the puck but too late into the corner behind the net. And we'll send it all the way back to Kistner to kill the seconds on the penalty kill. 10 seconds to go on that. So the Imperials have successfully killed the Wainwright man advantage, as Wainwright will get a shot on net and Thielman will make the save. There's a chance. And a goal for Wainwright. Halfway through the period, Wainwright is on the board and takes the lead. Looks like that was Hamilton with the goal. All right, Stettler now down by 1 in game 3. That pass didn't find an Imperial. Comerford will get it to Fletcher momentarily, but the Imperials will get it out to Turnus. The Imperials passing is a little off at this juncture. Puck past Kagan to Guthrie of the Imperials, well, into the glove of a Wainwright player and back out of the zone. Now Hamilton's there again, getting roughed up at the boards. Cassidy with a big collision as well. And Cassidy can't get it out. Sent back in by Wainwright. Now Houston pass over to Shingoose as they are on the rush. There's a saucer pass and Houston couldn't get a stick on it and then collided into Iseman. Not severely. No harm, no foul on that play. Shots are 4-3 for the Imperials. Only 1 goal so far by Hamilton for Wainwright. Back to the corner. Now to James at the point. Sent over. And Stettler's in the box again. So Wainwright is back on power play number 2 and looking to capitalize. There's a shot. Doesn't get through. Deflects into the mesh. 8:55 to go in the period. 1:38 to go in the Wainwright power play. And the first period presented by Amco Electric. Kept in by James. Now Dicker sends it over. Back to James. So Houston did get a goaltender interference call from that play. There's a shot, kick save by Thielman. Keeping this one 1-0. halfway through the Rustlers' power play. Into the slot area, and Turnus can't grab the puck. Back to James at the point. Here's James, takes a spill in the corner. Multiple players getting involved, and Stettler clears the zone. Potential for an odd man rush, but Wainwright is going to the box now as well with a charging call. To the right of Iseman, now behind the net. A little 4-on-4 for 17 seconds. And then Stettler will go on the power play. Here's Piggin. Takes a check. Horn will pick it up and send it around. Rost is at the point. There's a shot. Iseman with the save. So, minute 37 of power play time. And the power play on this live stream presented by Canadian Tire. Canadian Tire's Stettler, that is. Here's Rost on the Imperials power play. There's a shot and a save. Here's Quade Cassidy now for the Imperials to Eric Rost, who can't keep it in the zone. Now to Eric Rost at center ice, who loses it. Cassidy will have to go back and retrieve the puck. Now Cassidy makes a move, loses it, but Houston takes it over and gets in front of the net. And can't get a shot toward Iseman. And the puck ends up in the Imperial zone, now back out to the neutral zone. And now back out for Stollery to chase, and Stettler only has 15 seconds to work with on this power play. Stollery off the boards. Houston, good pass to Turnus. Turnus, the captain for the Imperials, takes a shot. Looking 5-hole, couldn't sneak it through. Back to the point, there's a shot. And kept in momentarily by Stettler. Now Miller for Wainwright will get it out. As it was a successful kill for Wainwright. And Horn battling forward after the faceoff was won by Wainwright, but a backhand rebound and kept out by Iseman. Horn takes down DeYoung in the corner. And that pass off the mark to Kistner now. King back to Kistner for the Imperials. Tucker loses the puck to Fletcher, who will send it up high, and it will go out of play. Another face-off won by Wainwright. Weeks at it. And now charging forward is Mullet. But Stettler ends up with the puck. And Scottapole will be taken down, and Stettler's going back on the power play. And they'll call that a tripping infraction. Stettler on the power play now after that tripping call, but here's a chance for Hamilton. Now James of Wainwright has the puck. James will send it in behind the net. Thielman pass over to Cassidy. So Stettler, with 4 minutes left in the period, are on the power play presented by Canadian Tire Stettler. That one sent out. Good penalty killing again so far for the Rustlers. Here's Ross to center ice. Loses the puck, but Piggin has it. There's a shot by Shingoose. And a good pad save by Iserman. Now Turnus takes a big check and steered forward by Rost and covered up by the Rustlers netminder with 52 seconds to go on the power play. And a quick shout out to everyone at the Stettler Community Hall who are playing in the pool league tonight. I'm usually there playing with them, but of course, a bit of a schedule conflict with the Imperials game tonight. But thanks to everyone at the hall for watching the game tonight too. That puck passed Walker down the ice. Thielman stops it. 3 minutes to go in the period. Stettler has half a minute to work with on the power play, down 1-0. Here's a chance. That pass off the mark. Piggin has it now and sends it into Turnus. Now back out, and looks like off of Fletcher's helmet and out of play. Face off to the left of Iserman. Miller for Wainwright will fire it around. Stettler still has a few seconds to work with on this power play, but it looks like Wainwright will kill it successfully. And Stollery in his own end to Turnus. Sorry, Houston. And up the boards. And grabbed by Mullet and sent right back into the Imperial zone. It's out in front, into the crease, and a dangerous play, but covered up by Thielman. And 251 of you tuned in. 251 concurrent viewers to the stream, so that's awesome. Got ourselves a good contest here. Here's Fournier, a 2-on-1 possibility. Shot and a big save. Keeps it 1-0. And now to center ice and a high stick as Ethan Ross gets clipped, and Stettler will be going back to the power play. And Stettler back on the power play, although here's James, a shot toward the net. Now Cassidy on the power play with speed to center ice. Makes a move, couldn't get toward the net as back to the point, Shingoose. And it'll leave the zone. Minute 20 to go in the power play. Less than a minute in the period. And Eisenman will stop the Imperials once again. Fired around. The Imperials keep it in with 43 seconds to go in the period. Now back to the point again. There's a shot. Wide. It comes out in front. Stettler looking for the loose puck. Back to the point. Walker to Ross. Back to Walker. And a shot from the point. It's loose. Where is it? Covered up by Eisenman. Stettler has 20 seconds to work with before the end of the period, but Fletcher had it, lost it for a second, as Stettler was able to keep it in. Here's Turnus. Turnus, good play at the line, although kept in by Stettler. They're going to have to shoot relatively quickly or the period will expire, and it does. Shots on net, 14-7 for the Imperials in the first period. Wainwright with the lead, 1-0. With a goal from Hamilton. As we go to the break, we are Hometown Media Stettler. Thanks for watching the live stream of this championship series between Stettler and Wainwright. All right, welcome back to the live stream between Wainwright and Stettler for Game 3 of this championship series. We are Hometown Media's Stettler. Thanks for joining us. And Stettler starts the period down by 1, but they are on the power play for 23 more seconds. All right, both teams meeting at center ice. The second period about to commence. And the second period is brought to you by Stettler Brewing Company. Craft beer and fresh brews. Discover local flavors at our brew house. Here's a shot that deflects wide into the corner. Houston to Cassidy. Stettler now not on the power play any longer. And a chance for Wainwright, but Stollery's there on defense to get it off the boards, but Dicker will pick it up. And now stolen by Stettler and out of harm's way for the time being. Here's Turnus to Cassidy, who will go for a change after tipping it in. Now Miller up the boards. That was Dicker. Now Hamilton fighting with it, fighting for it, I should say. To the point, Leggett will keep it in for the Rustlers. Now Turnus with an opportunity. Puck ends up behind the net. Taken by the Rustlers, but not out. And Turnus will retrieve it behind Iseman. And Turnus will take a hit behind the netminder. And the ref will call a roughing penalty. Just from my vantage point, I'm not sure if Miller necessarily deserved that penalty, but Stettler goes on the power play. Here's Rost now. Eric Rost brings it forward. There's a pass. And I don't know if Iseman got a piece of that, but either way, it stayed out. And now both the Rustlers and the Imperials will get involved to the left of the Rustlers' net. All right, everyone has cooled down and the face-off out of the Rustlers zone. Down the ice, and now Kieran Rost up to Ethan Rost, and now here's Adam Turnus. He looked a little weary on that play. He's been hit a couple of times. Some big checks on Adam Turnus this evening. The power play is brought to you by Canadian Tire Stettler on the live stream. As Thielman will stop it behind the net and send it back up. Stettler has a minute to work with on the power play. Back to Turnus. And can't get a shot on net. Here's a scrum for it. Back to the point. It's Walker. Nice move by Walker. Couldn't. That's Stettler. Fans on it twice. Now a big save by Eisenman, and then Stettler scores. What a flurry of activity there. Stettler fans on it a couple times with great opportunities in front of the net. A massive save by Eisenman. And then Stettler just able to find the loose puck and drive it home to tie the game. Somebody in the chat box says, holy whiff central. Yeah, you can say that again. So Piggin from Turnus and Ross as Miller will retrieve the puck, and now back to the neutral zone as Stollery will take out Fletcher, you can see, in front of the net. In front of the bench, I should say. Wright gets caught up, gets a stick caught up in his skates there. Shots now 18-7 in favor of the Imperials. Now kept in by Tucker. Tucker shoots off a shin pad. Back out in front. There's a shot forward. Maybe a pass, but no Imperial there to put it in the net. Now it's behind Eisenman again. And Stettler. Wainwright gets away with one there, as there was definitely a hook. But now an odd man rush opportunity for Wainwright. Here's a shot into the glove of Thielman as the Imperials take exception to one of the Wainwright players who was in the face of the Stettler Imperials netminder. So it's a 1-1 game. And to the point. Now sent in. Wainwright looking to increase their lead. Get to the front of the net. Can't get it on net. As Ethan Ross will have a reverse check on Hamilton. Now taken by Fletcher. Hamilton gets hit. And a pass to Fournier went past him. And Wainwright couldn't get it in deep, so Ethan Ross has it now for the Imperials. And Ross at least saw that hit coming from Dicker. A good collision there, as Eric Ross will fire one high. There's been quite a few big hits in this series. That is one of the biggest for sure. Back to the point for Wright. A shot by Wright. It's available. A shot saved by Eisenman. $13:23 to go in this second period, brought to you by Stettler Brewing Company. Stettler gets it back in deep. And Wright back to Walker. Walker with some nice stick work, loses it, but Turnus will feed it to Stollery. Stollery a save, a loose puck. And Eisenman finds the loose puck. He covers up. Stettler will backhand it into the zone, and Wright will get it at the point, fire it back in onto the stick of a Rustler. That went past Hamilton, and they'll call that one on an icing. And we'll be right back after a word from our main sponsor, Stettler Boston Pizza.
At Boston Pizza, a fast lunch doesn't have to mean fast food. Now you can get a $15 lunch served in just 20 minutes, including your choice of a main, side, and drink. That's right, lunch for $15 at your local Boston Pizza.
Stettler has it to Houston. Houston gets it back to the point. Now off the glass, and Kistner can't quite keep it in. The ref had to dodge that shot into the Rustler zone. And Hamilton will chop at it and send it behind the net, stopped by Thielman. Back up the boards. Here's Tucker. There's a shot, rebound. No Imperial there to collect it. That pass to Dicker. Now Guthrie and Dicker will fight for it. Now picked up by Tucker. Mullet for Wainwright up the boards, and we will have a penalty coming up on the Imperials, so Wainwright will go to the power play. So Wainwright is on the power play.
Stettler Imperials penalty number 6, shootout loss. 2 minutes for ice ticket. Time of that penalty, 8:56. Loss for ice ticket at 8:56.
Back to Stettler Stollery. So Stollery will find it and send it down the ice. Wainwright has a minute to work with, but that puck will exit the zone. There's a shot wide. Back to James. Now Mullet fires one. Blocked by Houston into the hand of Miller for Wainwright on the bench.
Ticket number 806454.
And in the second intermission, make sure to come back to the live stream and watch the shoot to win. They're giving away, or trying to anyway, $2,500. One lucky participant just has to get the puck through a small hole from center ice. All right, so the final moments of that Wainwright power play, and fired down the ice with 7 seconds to go on the power play. Rustlers player behind the net. To center ice and sent in. Comerford will chase after it, but Thielman up the boards to Walker. There's a shot from the point. Doesn't get through. Now Stettler, Turnus. Here's a chance. Piggin out in front. And can't tap it in. Back up the boards and out for the Rustlers. Shots 21-9. Yeah, we'll get the scoreboard back on the screen right away here. Just small technical difficulty. A shot for Kister. A rebound. Now Turnus with it. Back in to the point. Here's Turnus again. Now Eric Rost. Looks to set things up. There's a shot. Rebound. And Ethan Ross can find the loose puck. James for Wainwright now with possession. To Fletcher, who takes a hit from King. Back into the Wainwright zone is Mullet up the boards. There Weeks has it now. Wainwright, Stettler tied 1-1 in Game 3. Game 4 tomorrow at 6 p.m. in Wainwright. 6:32 to go in the second period, brought to you by Stettler Brewing Company. There's a bad giveaway by Stettler, and lucky that the Rustler player can get a full shot on net. 1-on-2 is Shingoose, and a save by Iseman. As Shingoose and the Rustlers throw a few punches. Stollery will shoot it and trick Iseman because he broke his stick in the process. Now Fletcher, as there's some action behind the net, and I think Thielman's able to cover that up with the left pad. Yeah, he can, keeping this 1-1. They're getting everything figured out. A nice wide angle from our camera guy, Landon. Big crowd here at the Stettler Rec Center. Again, game 4 is tomorrow, live from Wainwright at 6 p.m. Both an Imperial and Rustler in the box. Kistner to the corner. Turnus behind the net. He harassed a little bit. Will find some space and get it over to Piggin. Piggin will get it into the corner. Gosselin up the boards. And here's Wainwright. A move inside. And again, Thielman covers up and finds a loose puck in the paint.
Wainwright Rustlers penalty, number 86, Alan Dicker. 2 minutes for interference. Penalty, 14-17. Dicker for interference.
That
14-17.
shot just blocked. Back to Horn at the point, and now out in front. Back to the corner. It looks like we have still 5-on-5 here. Now maybe a 3-on-2. Nope, it'll be an offside call, to the dismay of the local crowd. We got 281 concurrent viewers, YouTube is telling me, so thanks again to everyone who has joined the live stream tonight. Shots 25-11 in favor of the Imperials. Tie game so far. Good defensive play by the Rustlers as they get it out. With only 4 minutes and 20 seconds left in the second period, brought to you by Stettler Brewing Company. Picked up by the Rustlers. To James, number 37. Guthrie for the Imperials loses it. It's out in front. Shingoose collects it and backhands it into the Rustlers zone. Puck sent in. Guthrie on the Imperials. Fights for it in the corner with a couple of Rustlers. As well, DeYoung. Mullet for the Rustlers back in the zone. There's a shot off of Thielman in the side of the net as well. Pass to Scottapole. And Scottapole will fire it in. Eric Ross. Now to Kistner. Tucker at the opposite blue line. Fires one high off the glass and around. Back to Kistner at the red line there. And it'll be Fletcher with a shot over the net, who gets taken down by Stollery. Collision between Kieran Rost and James. Over to Comerford for the Rustlers. Up the boards, but Kistner fighting to keep it in. He will. Now a shot. A pop fly into the glove of Eisenman. Kistner a shot, looking for a tip. Turnus almost had it. Turnus grabbed the puck again. Tried to get it on net. It would deflect wide into the corner. Now out of the zone. Back in goes the Imperials. Here's a chance. A shot just glove side. Walker just missed. Higgin will retrieve it and send it in. Minute 40 to go in the second period, and both teams with one goal on the board. Winner of tonight will go to Wainwright tomorrow, looking to wrap things up and win the Ralph Wiest Memorial Trophy. Rost. Just over a minute to go in the second period. Here's Eric Rost. Sends it back to Wright. Wright passed it to the point, but Wainwright will get it out. 1 minute to go. Shots are 25-11. And we will have an icing call. Here's a shot from the point and a save by Eisenman. And off the glass and out to Stollery. And Leggett for the Rustlers will get into the Imperial zone with 30 seconds to go in the period. Here's Cassidy. who hasn't really seen a great look yet in this game. Back to the point. Stollery waits out the defender. Tries to get in front. Can't. Houston misses Cassidy at the point. It goes all the way down to Thielman. And that'll do it for the second period. As we see on the screen, shots are 26 Stettler, 11 Wainwright. It's a tie hockey game so far. We are Hometown Media's Stettler, and we'll be back for the shoot to win near the end of the intermission, and then, of course, third period of play. All right, welcome back, everyone, for a quick shoot to win. As this individual will have 2 opportunities to get the puck in one of those holes in the board to win some cash money. And I believe they have 2 opportunities. All right, let's see. Can she put it in front of this big crowd at the Stettler Rec Center? There's the shot. That was a close one. Now opportunity number 2. There's the shot. And just between 2 of the holes, and the crowd gives her a round of applause. And we'll be back for the important 3rd period between Wainwright and Stettler. All right, welcome back for the 3rd period of play between Wainwright and Stettler. Thank you for joining us. And I don't mind saying another record tonight for viewership for the live stream, getting over 300 concurrent viewers, which means over 300 devices watching the stream. So thanks again for watching the stream, and if you can, subscribe to our channel. It's free. It just helps us out. It is an important 3rd period. Again, the winner of this one will have a chance for the championship tomorrow in Wainwright. All right, here we go. It's Hamilton and Houston at the face-off dot, picked up by Aykroyd and sent into the Imperial zone. A big collision there. Puck through the slot. Now passed out, just out of the reach of Shingoose. Pass over to James for the Rustlers. And this third period is brought to you by Dynamite Oilfield Services Limited for all your maintenance and construction needs. Thielman has to be careful there. Up to Cassidy. Now Cassidy loses it to a Rustler. Back to the point. A shot. Saved by Thielman. Stettler looking to break it out now. That pass just out of the reach of Turnus, who will at least beat the icing call. Now, Walker, a shot, steered away by Iceman. Here's Comerford, will get it out of the Rustlers' zone. Stettler loses the puck, Comerford, a shot. And I think the blocker of Thielman will bail out his Imperial player. Now in the corner, out in front, blockered away by Thielman again, and picked up by Turnus out to center ice. Here's Piggin, a shot. Out of play, deflected. Back into the corner, near side. King keeps it in for the Imperials. A shot off a player in front. And Rost will keep it in. Now up the boards. Dicker gets it out, but Fournier of the Imperials will take over with the puck until Weeks grabs it. Sends it in, goes for a change along with the rest of the Rustlers' teammates. That one stays in play. Up the boards. Pass through the legs of Rost. Now Kistner with possession. Rost can't grab it. Now Rustler has it. Shot over the net. Back into the corner and high and down the ice. Iceman passes it over to James. Already a few minutes gone in this third period. Here's Hamilton, drops it off, a shot. Now it leaves the Imperial zone. Shots 27-13. Thielman not necessarily too busy tonight, but still making a couple of big saves. There's Miller poking at it. Now behind Iceman. It's out in front. Right chops at it. And they'll call it high sticking infraction. Fletcher to center ice to the blue line. Cassidy can't quite get it. Fletcher takes over for the Rustlers. 1-1 hockey game. 4 minutes into this third period, brought to you by Dynamite Oilfield Services Limited, as Stettler takes the lead. Now let's see if I hit that highlight button quick enough here. Great play by Stettler to make it 2-1. Unfortunately, I was too late on the replay button.
Stettler Imperials goal is in the playoffs. Goals for 93, Houston. Assist number 8, with Shingus. Number 19, Scott Ball.
Houston, Shingus, and Scottapole with the assists. Out to center ice. Stettler looking for more. Walker shot wide. There's a shot that might have gone through the legs of Iserman, but through the crease nonetheless. Now Hamilton turns, finds Leggett. Leggett drives it toward the net, wide, now behind the net. Hamilton takes a check. Walker can't get it out. Here's a chance for James. And Wainwright will lose the puck, but retrieve it again at their own blue line. As Hamilton will get it in deep. Kistner chases after it, gets it around the boards, but can't get it out. Now the Rustlers putting on a little bit of pressure. Gosselin. Now James, a shot. Saved and then sent into the net. Here's Ross getting it out of the zone. Ross takes a fall. Now Comerford takes a hit. And Comerford is feeling that one. But Stettler will be going to the box. Quick look at that infraction. So as you can see on the replay, that was a kneeing infraction.
Stettler Imperials penalty number 44, 20 right. 4 minutes for beating. Time of that penalty, 6-11. Wait for beating at 6-11.
So that is right with the penalty, a 4-minute penalty. So Wainwright, a good opportunity here to tie this one up. Hamilton just goes offside. .13:08 to go in this hockey game. Third period brought to you by Dymai Oilfield Services Limited. And sent down the ice by Stollery. Now Fletcher for the Rustlers. Still has it. Back to Miller, a shot tipped by James, but it went wide. Once again, Wainwright working with a 4-minute power play down to 2 minutes and 40 seconds. There's a shot and a save by Thielman. Back to the point. Here's James. Passes it over, a shot, scores! And we have ourselves a tie hockey game. Nice passing play as Stettler ties it up. And the replays brought to you by Automotive Buy and Sell. So it's 2-2, and Wainwright still has more time to work with on the man advantage. Pass to James. Drop to Gosselin. Makes a move. Back to James. And given up by the Rustlers to Kistner. 2 Imperials on the move. And now it's Fletcher to center. And on the power play, Fletcher will put it past Thielman. And Wainwright takes the lead now. Wainwright, they have taken full advantage of that power play and now lead 3-2. And Stettler now with some work to do with 11 minutes and 12 seconds left. Now a chance, Piggin. Piggin shoots it and a save by Eisenman. Kicks out that right pad. Back to Turnus. To center ice. Now Piggin again. Piggin battling with James out in front, and Walker couldn't get a handle of it. Guthrie battling. Up the boards and out. Past Gosselin. Back into the Imperial zone. There's Comerford. We'll fire it in. Half the period gone. The third period is brought to you by Dime-Eye Oilfield Services Limited. And we should have a great end to this one, folks. Here's Eric Rost. Eric Rost will get it in. And Fletcher up the boards. The kids at the rec center loving that physical hit by Eric Rost, I believe. And it looks like Stettler is going to the power play and will try to even this up. Stettler's on the power play, presented by Canadian Tire Stettler. There's a shot, doesn't get through Eisenman. There's Ross, trickles past Eisman.
2 minutes contributing to our penalty, 10:30. Mullet, contributing, 10:30. This Imperials power play is sponsored by Hotel Family Dentistry.
Shot sent out. Nice move by Houston to get around a Rustler player. There's a trip, and they missed that one, that's for sure. Crowd doesn't like it, and I would have to agree with them. And Stettler with 50 seconds to work. There's a shot, save. Now back to center ice. James gets there, battles with Ross. Ross takes down James and gets a couple of extra shots in with 15 seconds left on the power play. There's Ross, the shot, another shot, saved by Eisman.
Once again, we are still looking for tonight's winning 50-50 ticket holder. Tonight's winning 50-50 ticket is a green ticket. Ticket number 389513. Once again, tonight's winning 50-50 ticket is a green ticket. Ticket number 389513.
There's a shot. It's loose for Stettler. And they can't get it to the net. As the Rustlers have killed the power play. Out the boards, here is Turnus. So, Dicker in the box, and Stettler on another power play presented by Canadian Tire Stettler. Cassidy spins back to the point. Houston sent it over to Ross, who loses it to Hamilton, and Hamilton gets it out. So Dicker with the 2-minute penalty for holding. Here's a chance though for Comerford. Comerford gets stopped in front by 2 Imperials. Stollery moves it forward. Here's Turnus. Behind the net and around. Ethan Rost. Back to the point. Stollery looking for a lane. Finds one, shoots. And that rebound is collected by the Rustlers with 30 seconds on the power play. Now Pig in. A shot. That one blocker side. Didn't miss by much. Out of front, scores! Top shelf. And the Imperials tie this one up at 3. And the third Imperial goal presented by our main sponsor, Stettler Boston Pizza. Here's Hamilton to center ice. Stettler ties it up at 3. Ethan Ross ties it up, and in the corner, it's Tucker and I want to say Comerford. Not sure who it was. Either way, the puck will be dropped to the right of Thielman. Stollery sends it up. So now the Rustlers, they have a power play opportunity. Tucker with a holding penalty as the Rustlers shoot it. And that's a big save by Thielman. Right can't get it out. There's a shot. Went wide into the corner. Fletcher. Fletcher drops it off. Now into the high slot. Passed over. That one saved. Another shot toward the net, ends up behind Thielman. to Gosselin. Now James. A shot into the crest of the Imperial goaltender, Gilman, with 49 seconds to go. And we'll be right back after a word from our main sponsor.
At Boston Pizza, a fast lunch doesn't have to mean fast food. Now you can get a $15 lunch served in just 20 minutes, including your choice of a main, side, and drink. That's right, lunch for $15 at your local Boston Pizza.
And we're back. 2 minutes and 42 seconds to go in regular time. 37 seconds to go on the Rustlers' power play, but they're forced to retreat. Now into Stettler's zone. Comerford, a shot saved by Thielman. Behind the net. That passed through the crease. No Rustler was there. Now Hamilton grabs it, but Stettler's Piggin is out of the box. Hamilton for the Rustlers sends it back in. That shot wide back to Mullet. Into the near side corner to Fletcher. Now behind the net. Just over a minute here. We're at the who's going to be the hero territory in this game. That puck sent all the way down the ice for an icing call. Shots now 35-21 for Stettler, but 3 goals apiece on the board. And Houston takes a high hit as he went down hard. Now Fletcher gets it in front, now behind the net again. Last minute of play. And we have a whistle. Piggin chases after it with James of the Rustlers there around the net. Half a minute to go. Up the boards and down. James again, another icing call on the Imperials. Stettler gets it out. Here's Turnus. Takes a shot, and that one hits the roof and out of play. Shot by Stettler with 10 seconds to go. And that one sails out of play as well. Rost at the face-off dot. Stettler, a shot by Houston, high with 2 seconds to go. And that'll do it for regulation as Stettler and Wainwright in game 3 are tied at 3 goals apiece. All right, we have a 3-3 game going to overtime. They'll do a quick flood, and we'll be back for that overtime frame. Thanks for watching, everybody. All right, welcome back. It's time for an overtime frame. The next goal will take a series lead to Wainwright tomorrow. All right, the overtime frame is underway. All right, Wright fires it toward the net. And Wright will pick it up again. Tucker's there. Now into the corner and out for Wainwright. Here's Cassidy. That pass doesn't get out. And Dicker couldn't get a handle on it. There's a shot. Just goes wide by Horn to Dicker. Back to the point. There's a shot. Deflected. And Thielman will be able to grab that puck. And just so you know, it says 2 OT on our graphic, but that's for some reason, regular OT only will go to 5 minutes. So to go to 20 minutes, we had to put the second OT graphic on there. Here comes Turnus, drops it for Walker, a shot, deflects wide. Back to Walker, a shot, doesn't get through. A wraparound chance saved by Eisman. Now behind Eisman, up the boards to Kistner. Down low to Ethan Rost. Now to Kieran Rost. Over to Eric. Now back to the point. Picked up by the Rustlers. And to the point, not out though. Here's Rost, a shot. It's available, but Rost couldn't get a stick on it. Here's a shot. Deflected and saved to the corner. Now Rost again. Back to the point. Stettler put it on the pressure in overtime. Here's Rost. Up the boards and out. And the Rustlers had an opportunity there. Here's Wainwright in front. Now Eric Rost up to Tucker. Now it's Houston. The shot. Blocker save by Eisman. And now it's out of the Wainwright zone. Stettler getting some opportunities here. And that puck sent in again. That one will go to right, over to Stollery. Now Miller into the Imperial zone. 4 minutes gone in overtime. Mullet fires it in. Out in front. Good stick by Stollery to clear it out of harm's way. Now off the boards, here's Walker to Stollery, over to Wright. Wright charges forward. Drops it off for Turnus, back to the point. Here's a pass to Walker, makes a move. Walker back out to the point, shot, score! Stettler wins game 3 in overtime. And game 4 will be tomorrow in Wainwright. As the cup will be in the building. And once again, we are Hometown Media's Stettler. And we thank you for watching this broadcast as Stettler wins 4-3 in overtime. From all of us here at Hometown Media Stettler, have a great night. Once again, final shots on goal, 40 for Stettler, 23 for Wainwright. Stettler wins 4-3 in overtime, and they have the series lead 2-1.